Good morning, Alison.
Morning.
It was FA Cup weekend. Can I first ask you about the draw against Liverpool and the other tie as well, the other major tie, that cracking set of fifth round tie?
It's an interesting draw and a difficult one. We have a little advantage by playing at home. That means we don't travel. But overall, it's of course a great difficulty. And we'll try again to absorb it and to come out in a positive way.
It's an interesting set of fixtures for you around that time. There's Manchester United, there's Bayern Munich and Liverpool games as well.
That's plenty of big games. That means the whole squad will need to be highly focused and to deal with that. It's a massive challenge for the squad, but I'm confident we can do that.
And your squad for tomorrow night, have the injury news anything that's different from the weekend?
Well, we have a doubt about Jack Wilshere, who had this ankle problem during the game against Coventry. But we have 3 players back normally in the squad, like the 3 are Vermaelen, Arteta and Ramsey should all be back and available. But we might, from our last game, lose Jack Wilshere for tomorrow's game.
Good to have those 3 players back. It allows a rotation, and it's what you're doing in every game now, isn't it?
I do, yes, because it's in the last 2 months we play every 3 days basically, and it's very important that I get that right on rotational front.
Just finally from me, Southampton, fantastic start to the season, slipping down a little bit towards midway at the moment. How do you assess their season so far?
They are above expected, and the quality of display has been very, very good. And everybody who goes today to Southampton is, of course, knows that he will get a difficult game, and that's why we want to focus on being at our best tomorrow night, because Southampton, on our plan, is a game where you want to take the points, but you know that we'll have really to fight to get them.
That Liverpool Cup tie makes it 4 intense, high-profile games against the top teams within 12 days. How does that affect your planning now for rest and rotation, and also with the window closing Friday in terms of getting maybe one body in?
Well, what it is important is that you don't lose players from now until this period, that you have all the players available. That is very important, but you can never be sure about that. And for the rest, you just go game by game, but focus on the next one. And if you win the next one, you have more chances to win the one after. So the 2 together, keep your squad available and win the next game. That's our policy.
How ready is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to start his first Premier League match since 17th of August?
He is fitter, still not at 100%.
Won't start then?
Look, that decision has not been made yet. He might start tomorrow, I don't know yet, but he's getting closer.
You won't have to face Dani Osvaldo at Southampton. He's serving his 2-week club suspension. What's the most serious player bust-up you've had in your years here, and how did you handle that?
You have plenty of disagreements in a group of people always, but you try to handle it in 2 ways. First, that it doesn't go too far, because sometimes the damage can be bigger and more difficult to repair. And after, you get people together and to sort the differences out. But most of the time you manage to do that, because it's in the heat of the moment sometimes. These are young people with a lot of energy, and it can happen. But I must say, over the 17 years here, we had no major problem on that front.
How difficult is it to make sure it doesn't fester, it doesn't affect the unity?
The difficulty is not to let it go too far when you have disagreements, And but experience helps you as well to detect that, to anticipate the problems, and to repair things as long as they can be repaired.
Would it put you off signing a player if he's a club suspension?
Look, we will never. It can happen, of course, that if somebody gets out of order, you have to do that.
Sanya, any closer to an agreement on the contract? And if
No.
not, have you got to look at Plan B in terms of preparing yourself for a possible departure, be it this window or in the summer?
Look, at the moment, if Sanya doesn't extend his contract, we'll have to do that. But at the moment, I must say, we look at Southampton's game more than at long-term future. We try to, of course, secure Sanya, because for me he's a very important player for the group. And but he's fully committed, and as long as he will stay here, we'll be fully committed in every single game.
And you any further with your contract situation? Any
No, that
little step
no,
further,
I
any
don't
talks?
think that we have to talk about that.
Steve? Is there any reason why Arteta and Ramsey may not start tomorrow, Arsenal? Would you be happy for them to
The reason for them is just they just come back today into full training after having been out for three weeks, so it's very short.
You're in a nice position because effectively your results would suggest you haven't really missed them, or have you?
Well, I said we have a very leveled squad, you know, and even if you miss the players, but we can maintain a certain level of quality, that is for sure.
You've often said at these press conferences that stability off the field is quite instrumental to what happens on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Southampton seem to be the go against that rule, don't they? They seem to be they've had a bit of instability on the field, yet they've produced the results on the field. Are you surprised at what's happened there?
Well, Southampton, I don't want to speak too much about that because I don't know the situation, but they've done a remarkable job with the academy. If you look at the quality of the work they have produced in the last 10 years is absolutely amazing. They have a club who have produced Walcott, Bale, Chamberlain, Shaw. You know, they've done a remarkable job, and that explains why they have come up again and they have produced excellent results. They have world pros, they have plenty of young players who are Schneiderlin, top quality, and they've done a remarkable job in the last 10 years. And they are more stable in their policy, in their philosophy, than you would think when you look at it in a superficial way.
Have you ever been interested in Lambert?
No. No, we didn't. Honestly, I didn't know him as long as he played in the Championship. I didn't know him well. I heard about him when he played in the Championship. We had a look at him, and already before he was at Southampton.
Arsenal, just ask you to reflect on Wojciech Szczesny's season. It seems as though he's taken his game on to a new level this year.
Yes, he's maturing, but for a goalkeeper, he's 24 years old, and that's very young for a goalkeeper, and he has already a very big experience now at that age, and I'm very happy with his development and how well he has progressed.
He signed a new deal last season, but was there ever a spell maybe when you thought he might not commit? Was that ever kind of in doubt?
Yeah, you have that doubt because he was a young goalkeeper and promising one, and somewhere you feel as well it's Wojciech is at this club, he has the culture of this club, he's been educated here, came here at the age of 16. You do not want to lose these players at the age of 23 when they start to be ready to play at the top level, or you close your academy, you know.
Is the challenge for him now to kind of go on like David Seaman, Bob Wilson, in that kind of category of...
I hope it's good examples to follow, yes.
And just on a separate issue, Jose Mourinho was saying last week that he felt that Arsenal have an advantage in the title race insofar as that you always have an extra day's rest, you seem to have longer to prepare for matches.
Look, it is simple. You look at the fixtures, you analyse it. I trust you will give an objective view, and you will see that Arsenal is behind all the other teams. And in the last 5 years, all the objective studies that have been made have shown that Arsenal had less rest than any other team at the top level in the top 4.
So is this just
That's facts. It's nothing to do with my opinion. Nothing to do. It's an independent company who has made that, and has shown that Arsenal had less rest between the games than any other team in the top level.
so is this just mind games?
There's no mind games. It's
No, from Jose's side, I think.
no. It's opinions. But I don't live with opinions. I live with facts, and the facts are not depending on me, not depending on Mourinho. It's just depending on objective analysis. A day is 24 hours, and you count how many times, how many hours you have rest between 2 games, and we'll see that I didn't make this study. It's just been made by an independent company. I cannot influence that.
And finally, Mark, about that.
Awesome. A lot of people, when Pochettino arrived, didn't know about him. He's quickly stamped his authority here. How impressed have you been with the job
He's done an excellent job, and because he arrived in a skeptical environment, because Atkinson had done a great job before him, and it was a surprise to everybody that he left. And that's never easy when you come in and somebody has done well before you, and he has convinced very quickly people that he has the quality to do the job.
Do you take your hat off to them for the way they've kept faith with the young players, bringing them through a young age and playing them?
Yeah, they deserve a lot of credit for that, and they've done Southampton has done an excellent job. I already said that, and I think maybe the club has done the best job with Arsenal on the youth level.
Okay, guys, thank you. In we come, guys. Thank you.